Hi everyone, so today I'm going to do a comparison video on two self-tanners. Now, one is the Tropez Self-Tan Bronzing Mousse, and the other is the Equate Beauty Self-Tan Foaming Mousse. The Tropez comes in three different sizes. It comes in a 1.69 ounce bottle, a 4 ounce bottle, and then this 8 ounce bottle. And I think at a time they had a 16 ounce bottle that was huge. And this only comes in one size. The Equate one only comes in the 4 ounce that I know of. So quick backstory. The Tropez is something I tried about a year ago. I had the smallest little bottle, and it's the first self-tanner, like true self-tanner that I actually tried that wasn't, that Jergens Healthy Glow Gradual Tan Lotion. This was the first self-tanner I actually tried, and, I always heard horror stories about how self-tanner made you look orange and streaky and patchy, and it wasn't easy to do, and, all this sort of thing, and I was like, I guess everyone's crazy, because I thought it was easy. I didn't get any streakiness, I didn't get any patchiness, and it looked good. It looked natural. And so then I just realized this is a really, really good self-tanner. So it is quite expensive. So when I was in Walmart a few months ago, I think it was around Christmas time, I saw this, and I recognized what they were trying to do with the bottle. It's like, oh my god, that's the Tropez. So when I looked at the color on the inside here, I noticed that it was very, very green, as you can see with this tends to drip. And I think that's what makes the Tropez so good, is it has a really strong green undertone to the liquid. And so that way it gives you more of an olive kind of bronze goddess look rather than an orange look, because the green in it gives you that olive tan. So the Tropez has kind of that greenish cast to it. Now, with that said, the Equate one has a lot more green in it, and it's also a lot darker. But I think that's where the similarities kind of end, in the sense that, good packaging, good pump, and the idea is there, the greenish undertone to it. With that said, this will turn you green. And if you don't, I would do a bit of exfoliation and some moisturization on my body before I would do self-tanner, as the directions instruct you to. And I've tried doing this multiple times, exfoliating more, doing more moisturizer, making sure that my skin is completely prepped and smooth. And each time that I do it, it still gives me the same result that looks it gets flaky, it turns you kind of a greenish gray color, it looks like you're sick or you have gangrene or something like that. And I thought, okay, well maybe sometimes, if it starts green and then you rinse it off later, it gives you that golden tan, because I was reading reviews on certain self-tanners that do that. So I thought, okay, well I'll just let it sit and see, how it's going to work on my skin, and then rinse it off and see if it turns golden. Well, I would do that, then rinse it off, and it would be completely gone. You wouldn't be able to tell that I did anything at all. With the Tropez, the first time I did it, I exfoliated, extremely thoroughly, and I moisturized properly, and there are other times after that where I didn't exfoliate as much, I didn't moisturize my body as much, and this would still go on with ease. It would still look beautiful, it would glide over the skin, no patchiness, no streakiness, completely smooth, even color, and so I think it's a little bit more forgiving. Looking in the ingredients, the Tropez actually has a shorter ingredients list, and there's no alcohol in it. This has cinnamon alcohol. I don't know, honestly, if that's a good alcohol or a bad alcohol. I'm assuming it's a bad one. Another thing as well, Tropez recommends applying this with a bronzing mitt. They sell a bronzing mitt. You'll have to excuse mine, it's dirty. I just used it. As you can see, I've got some color to me right now. Yeah, the reason I did it, first of all, is also because, my neck, the back of my neck is extremely dark. Even though I wear sunscreen there all the time and I try to protect the area, it's just always extremely dark. And my chest was a lot lighter than my neck. So I figured I'd just give myself an all-over bronze, so that way everything's kind of matching up. And I also have some foundations I want to wear for summertime, because we're in summer weather now, that are just a little darker for me than I am in the winter, and I want to be able to wear those. So now everything's kind of the same color. Not quite, but whatever. The bronzing mitt I think is like $6 or so, and I would recommend getting it. I've had mine for a year. This allows you to protect your hands, the palm of your hands, first of all, from getting orange, and it also just it's a smooth, even application. If you were to use your hands, there's, you know, grooves and creases and crevices in here that wouldn't apply the product evenly. This Tropez, or the Equate one, recommends applying it with your hands, and I've never done it with my hands because I refuse to, you know, get that all over my hands and then have to wash them, and then the tan on my hands would be gone, so then that would be too light for my, you know, for my face and that sort of thing. So I think the idea of this is, it's cool that they came up with something that's supposed to be a similar version, because Tropez is very expensive, but I don't think the execution is there at all. So I had the 1.69 ounce bottle, and it just would not, like, even though I thought it was empty, it would just keep pumping product out. So it lasted me about a year. And that's with not, I mean, I didn't use this consistently. I'd use it maybe twice a month at most, and then there were months that I didn't use this at all. To me, this is sort of just to get me tan until I get naturally darker. Even though I wear sunscreen and I wear protective clothing and I wear hats and sunglasses, my skin just naturally tans really quite easily, and it stays tan. So for me, this is not an issue of, like, you know, making myself darker than I would naturally get. This is just to get me to the color that I would naturally be until I reach that point. Just so that way my skin it looks even, you know, I don't have a completely pale chest and then a dark neck and that sort of thing. So I ended up buying the largest size that they sold at Sephora. This size is $42, and the reason I bought this large size is I calculated it out, and I think this comes to about $5 an ounce. And the smaller bottle that you buy, it becomes more expensive price per ounce. So if this is something that I'm going to use and I know that I like it and I know that it works, I don't mind getting the largest size, paying a bit more for something that I know I'm going to use. I think the small size, even though it's not the most price effective, is a good way to try it out, especially since Sephora is great about returning, and you don't like it, bring it back. But I would say you do need the mitt to go with it. It doesn't matter which mitt you buy. I bought the Tropez one because that's what they recommended, and I wasn't about to test my fate my first time trying self-tanner. But I think it makes it a lot easier, and I think the main thing is it just protects your hands from getting that orangey, obvious self-tanner look. So you probably, I don't know if you can tell, but like this side, I did a little bit of tanner on this side, and with the Equate one, and it's a little bit more green than this side, I think. I mean, you can't tell that much because I went over it with the Tropez, but I mean, you can definitely see the color is really natural. It's very golden, very olivey. It doesn't look orange, and it applies just smoothly. I mean, I have no streaks at all. And even on like hairy parts, like my legs, or I don't shave my legs, and I applied this over the hair. I mean, I moisturized it and exfoliated it before, but I put it over something that, you know, an area on my body that has quite a lot of hair, and it worked fine. It didn't, I mean, I think it looks a-okay. It didn't start clumping or streaking or anything like that. So definitely exfoliate before you use either of these. Would you rather spend that money on something that you're gonna have to try really, really hard to work with, and then there's that big possibility that it's just not going to look right, it's not going to work out for you? Or does it make a bit more sense to buy a small bottle, try it out, get the effect that you want, and then go for a larger size and spend a bit more money on something you know is going to work? To me, that's always what it comes down to. Is this worth the money? You know, am I getting every single cent that I paid for this? And if the answer is no, then don't do it. Bring it back, don't buy it in the first place, etc. So we could turn this into a splurge or save. I'd say splurge and get the Tropez. With that said, this is just a comparison between these two products because these are the only ones I've tried. This also comes in a dark one. I almost bought the dark one because sometimes I think this is just a little bit too light for me because I know how dark I can get, and this isn't nearly as dark as I would naturally get. But I also think, you know, I'm not really going for an extremely dark look anyway. I'm just kind of, it's to tie myself over until I get there. So yeah, I really like the bronzing mousse from Tropez a lot. I mean, obviously, like you can see, it looks good. I mean, it looks really good. The scent is slightly self-tanner. The scent lingers. You can put your clothes on after this, but if you wear white, some of it's going to come off on your clothes. Do not go to sleep unless you are completely dry, your room is freezing cold, and you're not going to be sweating. Otherwise, this will come off on your sheets. Same with the Equate one. That one will come off. So if you have like a day off of work and you can walk around the house naked doing chores and no one's gonna, you know, no one's gonna see you or no one's gonna bother you, that's the time to do this. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. If you have any experiences with other self-tanners that you want to share, maybe I can, you know, try those out, or other people can try them out, and this is the community. Yay! Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and until my next video, I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye! Oh, wear sunscreen. This is just to pretend to be tan. Don't actually go tanning. Don't do it. Okay, bye.